Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast. I'm your host, Corey, and with me, as always, is James. How's it going, James?
Hello, everybody. Doing good here.
It's been a little bit since our last episode, so we're a little bit behind on stuff. We're going to talk about the Warhammer cards today. I did just get married, and I was on vacation from that. Now I got a cold, so if you hear me coughing and stuff,
I love how you went to Cancun and you somehow got a cold.
I know, it's every time I fly. Every time I fly, I get sick, either on the way home or the way back. And it's like I went from like here it was like 70 to Cancun, and then it was like 90 and humid down there. Then it came back and it's like 40 here. But like I got the cold in the 90-degree weather, not in the 40. Like what?
Which is really funny.
Well, before we get started here, we want to say some ways you can support us here. So the first way is we're sponsored by Zencastr. Zencastr is an all-in-one podcast production suite that gives you studio-quality audio and video without needing all the technical know-how. Records each guest locally, then uploads crystal-clear audio and video right into the suite so you have high-quality raw materials to work with. If you want a 30% off code for a Zencastr Pro account, use offer code zen.ai/the MTG Really helps us out. We're also sponsored by TCG Player. So if you want to go to our website, mtgplace.net, we have that on there. You can click on it. It goes right to the TCG Player affiliate link. And as long as you order cards after clicking that link, it remembers it in your cookie, and you're good, and it supports us. We appreciate everyone who's done that already. We know you're going to buy cards anyway. Unfortunately, some of these cards, I don't know if you could buy them on TCG. I'm sure you can. Somebody has them secondary, but there are also secret layers available till the end of the month when we go through these Warhammer cards here. And finally, the last way you can support us is directly through Patreon. You can get some cool perks. You can play Magic games with us. You can get some cool stickers and shirts and merch and stuff that you can't get anywhere else otherwise. And you can see me randomly posting my decks that I do on arena drafts. I like to post images of my deck lists, and if I go 6 wins or 7 wins on there, so you can see like what I'm drafting for each set.
Cool stuff.
All right, so yeah, and then a little bit of Magic. Yep.
Speaking of things to buy on TCG, what you maybe should not buy on TCG are these freaking 30th anniversary cards.
Well,
talk about this a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. A little bit of Magic news here. These 30th anniversary cards, but these cards, you can't even buy them on TCG. You have to buy them directly from Wizards, like a secret layer. Okay, and they're limited number. Okay, and so if people are thinking of them as an investment, but so here's the thing: if this was $10, it'd be cool. So what it is for people that don't know is it's basically every card from beta. With a gold bordered back, like a different back, so it's kind of like collector's edition was. Yep. And you have the new frame artwork, and you can get a retro frame artwork. So you can get a Mox, a Black Lotus, whatever. And like collector's edition ones even now are still like a couple $1,000s for some of those. Which some people are thinking these might be if you get it. But back when they did it before, it was $50. You got the whole set. Here, it's $1,000. You get 4 packs, and each pack has 15 cards in it, and you have a chance to open it. And that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, it seems really, really stupid.
And the fact that it's a limited number is like, okay, so the whales that can actually afford this might not even get it.
They're even struggling to find stuff.
Yeah,
and thousands of dollars to just throw at this.
To me, it seems like they're just trying to see how far they can push printing reserve lists before they just do it.
They actually just print reserve lists.
Because like Hasbro is, at least recently, is all about just making money.
Hasbro wants their money. And they bought Wizard.
And Magic just became their first IP to make $1 billion.
I saw that too.
So,
which doesn't surprise me at all, because Magic is huge. And
well,
has
it's
been
a little crazy if you think
forever.
about it. That means Magic is more popular than Transformers and more popular than all that shit. But
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a pretty mainstream card game since the 90s, so I totally get that. But yeah, this is some bullshit. just a little bit.
yeah, so I mean, we're not huge fans of it. I think.
No.
I mean, even if people have Cube, just proxy the damn cards at this point.
Like at the end of the day, you can always just print out what you want, put it on some like card stock, like or even like an island or like a land of some kind, and throw it in a sleeve. That's all you need to do. You do not need to spend $1,000 freaking dollars to hope you get a Mox or to hope you get a Lotus. This is like no.
Like that's not even tournament legal. Like
yeah, and you can't even play it.
Because like if I was going to spend that kind of money, like it's $1,000, right? I could just go buy 2 real duels and go play Legacy. Like that's what I would rather do.
You get like three of those, and you can buy a real Mox.
Right.
You know, it's like why?
There's simulators online of how many packs you'd have to open until you actually get a Black Lotus, and it's like you got to spend like $40,000 on average to get a specific card. So it's like,
and it's like you can spend half that and buy a real Lotus that you can actually play with in a tournament.
Right. I'm granted it'd have to be vintage, but like still.
Yeah,
and it would retain more value because it's a real one.
And it would actually like be valuable. Yeah, the whole thing
is.
You
want to hear a huge rant on it? The Professor has a good video on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, we will link that to this, I believe, so you guys can watch that. It's definitely a good watch. Not so great for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, well, this really does not celebrate 30 years of Magic to me, but okay. And then they're shafting game stores because they're like, we're going to sell them direct, and we're going to give all WPN stores, everyone, 1 copy of this for free. So that everyone gets 4 packs. Ooh, if you're a premium store, you get 12 packs. Okay, what game store has? Does your game store have more than 12 people in it all the time? Like, so they can't even give them out. They have to give them out as prizes for a massive tournament or something.
Like Lodestone could never do that. It's like
here's what I'm saying: they're better off just opening them and giving them out as prizes. Every single card that's worth money as a prize for a tournament versus or the whole pack as a prize. But they probably could do more tournaments if they open them because like they do like the Legacy for a dual land and they get like a bajillion people. So like could do that.
And I'd rather just have a freaking actual dual land that I can use.
Right.
It's like, fun stuff. Yeah, that was an entertaining read when I saw that. I was just like, oh god. Well, that was a fun day at work because it was just the whole text chat was just blowing up.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to talk about some Warhammer, I believe.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Warhammer cards. We're only going to do the mythic and rares. We're not going to do uncommons or commons, and we're only going to talk about the new cards. We're not going to talk about any reprints.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of reprints. So like Darkness is being reprinted, which is cool.
Yeah.
Remember that card, the Black Fog?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's like we would be here literally all night if we like did this whole set because it's huge. So
it's like six commander decks, so it's like 600 cards. I think you can order them from Secret Lair. You might be able to buy them in stores too, the non like foil fancy versions. I'm not sure.
Right.
But anyways, if you want any of these Warhammer cards, it's another crossover IP. Luckily, it's only a commander set. Lord of the Ring ones does seem cool to me. So hopefully
it does. Well, and it definitely, I think, kind of fits the Magic the Gathering aesthetic. So
yeah. And then, so we got Warhammer, and then we still got to catch up. We'll get Infinity going, and then Brothers War is coming out in like a month.
There's a lot. This is a busy time of year. So
yeah, busy time.
All right.
So you want to start us off with the first card here? We're going to go in Newburgh order.
We are, yeah. So you'll be starting with white, ending with, green, and then multi and artifacts. So first up we have Celestine the Living Saint. It is 4 and a white for a 3/4 legendary creature who's a human warrior with flying and lifelink. And then it has an ability called Healing Tears, which is at the beginning of your end step, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Very, very white flavored card for sure.
Yeah, it seems really good in a life gain deck.
Yep.
It itself has lifelink 3, so you could just swing it and get something 3 or less back.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's like a Sun Titan.
Seems like a decent card. I haven't played Warhammer, so I don't know the characters super well in this. So I can't tell you if that's on cue with what that character does in the game Warhammer.
Yeah, I never played Warhammer 40k, so I wouldn't know. So you guys will have to tell us.
Yeah, but that does seem like a decent Magic card. Next up, we got Defenders of Humanity. It's X, 2 and a white for an enchantment. When Defenders of Humanity enters the battlefield, create X, 2/2 white Astartes. I'm probably butchering that.
Yeah, something like that.
Astartes, warrior creature tokens with vigilance. And then X and 2 and a white, exile it, create X, 2/2 white warrior creature tokens with vigilance. Activate only if you control no creatures and only during your turn. So enchantment, put X11s or X22s into play. If they board wipe, you can then use this again, basically.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to like White Sun or something like that.
Yeah, what is the one? What is White Sun? XX white?
I think it's 1X, but I think it's X like in 3 whites, if I remember right.
So it's the same, like 3 and X?
Yeah, basically. I think it's basically the same, except it shuffles, obviously, because it's a Zenith.
Right, whereas this is an enchantment.
Yeah. So it's kind of comparable, I think. It's not bad.
Yeah, so it's good. It's pretty good. It's playable in token deck. I think you'd play that.
Totally. Yeah, definitely playable for sure. Next up, we have for the Emperor. It is 3 and a white for a sorcery. Creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance and lifelink until end of turn. So it's just basically like almost like a white overrun, but with vigilance instead of trample, I guess.
Yeah, vigilance lifelink is good. 4 mana. All your dudes do. It's good in the token deck, obviously.
Yeah, I mean these honestly, these 3 cards are real good for token deck, I think, for sure.
Well, definitely these last 2. The first one can be in a life gain or token deck.
Or yeah, I guess that'd be life gain. But yep, so far white's definitely white.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Space Marine Devastator. It's 3 and a white for a 3/3 creature, Astartes warrior. Squad 2, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may pay 2 any number of times. When this creature enters the battlefield, create that many tokens that are copies of it. Then it has Grave Cannon. When Space Marine Devastator enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Okay, so it's 4 for a 3/3 that blows up an artifact or enchantment, and you could keep, and for every 2 mana on top of that, you get another 3/3 and blow up another artifact or enchantment.
So almost like an aura shards on a creature, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's basically like a kicker. It's kind of how it functions. Just copies itself.
Yeah, I just
yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
Where is this good? Like, would you is 4 for a 3/3 blow up an artifact or enchantment good?
Well, because like what's
like base level, so you don't kick it. 4 for a 3/3 blow up an enchantment.
Okay, because what is what is it? What's that card? Pride Mage. That's 2.
That's 2 and 1.
Sack
or there's
and
with
one, and you
the 3 mana destroy. 3 mana destroy is the green guy.
I think that's pretty on par.
So 4 mana 3/3 destroy it's probably on par.
It's
and
then
okay. Okay, and then what is 6 mana 2 3/3s blow up 2 things? That's pretty good.
I think that's stated pretty well.
And then 8 mana 3 3/3s blow up 3 things.
Now that's pretty good.
That's where you're starting to get there. And then
Yeah,
10 mana, I think at the 8 to 10 mana,
more that you pay,
jump out, the better it's going to get.
The more that you pay, the more value you get, for sure.
Blow up something is fantastic.
Definitely. So. Like once you get in those higher brackets, it's pretty good. So yeah, pretty much like it starts on par, decent, but then like the more you go, the better it gets.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty cool card. I like that.
Definitely great if you want to just hose somebody who's playing like an Enchantress deck.
Oh yeah. There's
plenty of tap out, blow everything up.
Everything just dies. All right, next up we have this looks like a miracle card. We have Triumph of Saint Catherine. It is 4 and a white for a 5/5 creature that's a human warrior with lifelink. And then it has Praesidium Protectiva. Oh, that's like Latin or something. When Triumph of Saint Catherine dies, exile it and the top 6 cards of your library in a face-down pile. If you do, shuffle that pile and put it back on top of your library. So, it is a miracle card. So, Miracle 2.
Yep.
And it's a 5/5.
So, it's a 5/5 lifelinker. When he dies, it and the top 6 cards of your library shuffle and then go on top. So this is in your top 6, and then you can miracle it for 2 when you draw it.
Yep, that's pretty sick.
2 mana 5/5 that keeps coming back seems pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. That seems very good.
And gosh forbid you have Sensei's Divining Top or something, and you can cast this creature as an instant speed off the top of your deck.
You can just bust this so hard. You will always miracle it. It's like miracles all over again. Remember that was a thing in Legacy?
Yeah. This is a good card. I didn't even know they were bringing miracles back, but it's cool that's on the card.
I was looking at the board. I'm like, that looks like a miracle card. I'm like, oh, it is a miracle card. Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah, it seems like a really good card. So far, that's the best white card in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Next up, we got Ultramarines Honor Guard. 3 and a white for a 2/2 with squad 2, and other creatures you control get +1/+1. Okay, so
the copy's bigger.
4 mana 2/2, 6 mana 2 3/3s, right? Because others.
Yep.
8 mana, bunch of 4/4s. 3 4/4s? I don't know. I don't know if this is that good. Because even at 10 mana, it's like you get what, 4 5/5s? Like
this doesn't scale quite as the Grav Cannon.
It doesn't scale as well, I don't think. It's okay.
It's fine with other creatures, I think, but I don't know if just trying to pay it off with just him quite works. But
maybe if you have some combo, like the dude that's like whenever you make a copy, you make another one or something.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's good, but
yeah. Or just think the squad works with like doubling season and something like that, right? Like that you could bust it with that, right?
Let's see. When it enters the battlefield, create that many tokens. Yes, so you can double what you pay for squad.
So
you could bust it with double.
That could bust the crap out of it.
Yeah,
or like parallel lives or something like that.
Yeah,
that's the key. All right. I'm also a little sick, so my voice might get a little raspy here, but I'm gonna power through it. Next up, we have Vexillus Praetor. It is 3 and a white for a 3/4 Custodes warrior creature with flash, vigilance, and then it has Aegis of the Emperor, which is commanders you control have protection from everything. So Progenitus.
Yeah, so it's pretty good that it has flash. So it's like 4 mana, protect my commander from anything. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that seems very good. Nice little card to throw in. Especially like if you have a vulnerable commander or commanders.
Yeah, if you have a commander that you don't want to die, like
Riss loves to die.
Yeah, if you have a commander you really don't want to die, or that people target all the time, or that costs about a mana, you might play this. Otherwise, there's better cards. But
oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
but
next up,
it's decent.
Yeah, next up we got Zephyrim. It's 3 and a white for a 3/3 human warrior with Squad 2, Flying Vigilance, and Miracle 2. Interesting.
Yep. Another miracle card.
So if you miracle it, you could pay 4 for 2 3/3s of Flying Vigilance.
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
That seems really good. You're getting 3/3s Flying Vigilance. Is that better than... So Entreat was what? 1 and X?
2 and X? No, I think it was 2X, I believe.
2X, and so every 1 mana you're
or no,
4,
well, the miracle cost, I believe, was 1X. The hard cost was like XX and like 2 or something like that.
Right, okay.
Or XX3. I can't remember. So like, if you miracled it was really good, but like the hard cost was not that great.
Yeah, this is, I think, the same type of thing where it's going to be super good if you can miracle it, and then you just, for every extra 2 mana you have, you're dumping another 3/3 Flying Vigilance.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the extra 2 mana isn't that bad either. It's a pretty decent card.
I think it's dead at okay, but the miracle is definitely very good.
Sucks that it's 3, not 4. Because it still dies to bolt, but
always got that equalizer. Does it survive bolt?
Right. So of these white cards here, what do you think is the best one?
Oh, it's Triumph of St. Catherine easy.
Yeah, I think so
too. I
found
the best one.
Like, because
and then the Space Marine Devastator.
Yeah, unless they exile that, you're gonna play it over and over and over
again. Yeah, it just keeps coming. Like it's a
5/5 lifelink. Like, that's good.
That's a win count on its own.
Yeah.
You just got to keep the game going, and as long as you keep drawing it, you're A-okay. All right, we are on the blue. So the first blue card we have is Genestealer Patriarch. It is 4 and a blue for a 4/4 creature that's a Tyrannid. And then it has Genestealer's Kiss, which is whenever Genestealer Patriarch attacks, put an infection counter on target creature defending player controls. And then it also has Children of the Cult, which is whenever a creature with an infection counter on it dies, you create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a tyrant in addition to its other types.
So you keep attacking with this, keep putting infection counters on things, and then when they die, you get tokens of it.
Yep, you basically get it on your side of the field.
As long as they don't kill this first.
Yep. So that can be pretty good.
I think it's okay. I feel like this is just one of those cards that they're just going to kill it on site.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like, that means it's a decent card.
It does survive bolt.
Yes.
But yeah, they're just going to kill spell it easy. Path.
It's a pretty good card, though.
Yeah. This is definitely a target that needs to be dealt with.
Next up, we got Lord of Change. It's 6 and a blue for a 6/6 demon with flying and ward 3. And when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. It seems really good. It's a blue demon. That's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, blue demon is very interesting. I can't really think of any other of those.
I think this is a lot better with something you want to cheat into play. I don't really want to pay 7 for a 6/6
Yeah, this wants to be cheated in for sure.
But if you can cheat this in somehow, you're going to be drawing 3 cards, especially in like Brago or something. You cheat it in and then you just drawing 3, draw 3, draw 3. Man.
It's really, really good. And the ward 3 is really good.
It protects it.
Yeah. So once this is on the field, it's going to be a pain in the ass for them to deal with. So that's good. So it's definitely a bomb, which is nice. Next we have Sister of Silence. It is 4 and a blue for a 3/3 human knight creature with flash, not flying. And then it has an ability called the Psychic Abomination, which is when Sister of Silence enters the battlefield, counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So it's literally Stifle.
Well, I don't think Stifle can counter something, can it?
Oh no, yeah. So it's Stifle or Counterspell.
Yeah, it's counter a non-creature spell, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, non-creature, non-artifact, non-enchantment.
Yeah.
Non-planes. So it's very specific. But when you use it to counter one of those 4 things, like since it's 4 specific things, you're probably going to hit it most often. Most of the time, you're going to hit it instant sorcery, probably. But you could be, that guy that's like, all right, I'm going to 5 mana stop your fetch land.
Yeah. Total asshole. You're going to strip mine me? No, you just get rid of that.
Last blue card is Vanguard Suppressor, 3 and a blue for a 3/2 warrior with squad 2, flying, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's the worst one, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, 3/2 flyers that draw you cards. You've seen that all over the place.
Forever.
Yeah. What's the best of these 4 blue cards? Probably the Lord of Change.
Probably Lord of Change. It's expensive, but it's good. Otherwise,
otherwise the Gen Stealer probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the silence.
Not very many. Not very many blue cards. That's kind of interesting. How there's like none.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a lot of multicolor cards that are blue.
Yeah, or there's a bunch of like commons or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So on a black. Next up we have Anrakir the Traveler. It is 4 and a black for a 4/4 legendary artifact creature that's a Necron. And then it has Lord of the Furian Legions, which is whenever Anrakir the Traveler attacks, you may cast an artifact spell from your hand or graveyard by paying life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost.
So that's OP. Like, yeah, even using that as a commander is like artifact Keurig deck, basically.
It's like literally like this is how you play shit.
Yeah, that's super good.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm going to attack you, and then I'm going to play my, Dark Steel Forge.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to play my Micro Synth Lattice. Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. I'm going to pay 20 life. Whatever.
It'd be interesting, because I don't know. Mono Black Artifacts isn't really a deck, so it'd be interesting to build that deck.
Yeah, it's usually like blue or white, so yeah.
Yeah. Or red.
Yeah, yeah.
Next up, we got Arco Flagellant, 2 and a black for a 3/1 human with squad 2. Can't block, and you can pay 3 life to gain indestructible until end of turn. So I don't know if I'd ever squad this. Do I want to pay 2 mana for a 3/1 that can become indestructible?
I don't know. That just turns into so much life you're paying.
Like, I don't even know if I want to pay 3 mana for a 3/1 that can't block.
I know. It seems very Yeah, it's very aggro, but you're paying 3 for it.
Yeah, I don't... unless you find some way to abuse this, again, with the doubling season or something, I don't see you buying this.
Yeah, that's...
This would probably be a card you take out of the deck, the pre-con deck.
Yeah, there's way better stuff you can put in. Next, you have Biotransference. It is 2 black for an enchantment. Creatures you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you lose 1 life and create a 2/2 black Necron Warrior artifact creature token.
Yeah, so this combos with that
first one
guy. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Super good, because then you can play all your creatures for life as well.
Yeah. Like, this is going to be just literally a mana-less deck. You just lose life.
Lose life, artifact, and creature deck. That's cool. All right, next up we got Blight Grenade. It's 4 and a black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature, and then all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. So kill one thing, and then everything else gets -3/-3.
That's not bad. I don't know. What do you think about that mana cost?
I wish it was only 4, or if it gave -4/-4, it would be really good. Because like Like Languish is 3 mana. Do everything -4/-4. I think 3 or 4.
Right. Well,
but you
I
get to
guess
hit the biggest thing on top of that.
Right.
And like Infest is 3 mana. Give everything -2/-2. So
yeah, well,
it's 2 mana worth.
I guess it's like a combination of that and an Edict, because an Edict is 2. So
like a Terminating is 2. So it's kind of like, I mean, or like Last Gasp and a Terror, but you can hit anything. Yeah, it's decently mana cost, I think.
Pretty on par. Yeah, so that's not bad for sure. It's definitely playable. It's good against tokens. If you have like a token deck that you're going against, just wipe them out. Next up we are. This is still black. Okay, let me move on. These look like artifacts. It's because they are.
It's a black artifact.
That's a black artifact. Next we have Chronomancer. It is 1 and a black for a 1/1 artifact creature that's a Necron wizard with flying. And then it has Atomic Transmutation, which is pay 1 and tap it, sacrifice another artifact, draw a card. And then it has Unearth 2 and black. Wow, I haven't seen Unearth in a long time. So if you don't remember what that does, because that's an old effect, so you pay 2 and a black, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield, Unearth only as a sorcery.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Unearth since Alara?
You can like one turn it basically with haste.
Yeah, like I think it was like Alara was like when Unearth was a thing. Like I was in college. It was a long time ago.
So far, this mono black deck looks like it's artifact themed, and it seems fucking sweet.
It's busted.
Like this is a deck I might want to buy because like it's mono black.
Black is looking sick. Definitely.
Next up, we got Cryptek, 3 and a black for a 3/3 artifact creature Necron wizard with pay 1 and a black, tap, choose another target artifact you control or another artifact creature you control. When that creature dies this turn, return to the battlefield tapped under your control. Wow. Okay. So it protects your artifact creatures. Yep. That's really good. Definitely good. This whole deck seems great. Whatever deck this is black is the one I want.
It's one target one, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like having a mom, like protection.
Yeah, it's mommy
for your artifact creatures. Like that's pretty cool.
It's a little more expensive, but it's the same idea.
Yeah, same basic thing. Protects your dudes.
Which is pretty great. Yeah, this is definitely sick. Next up, we have Great Unclean One. It is 4 and a black for a 4/5 demon creature with reverberating summons. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then, for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. So, okay.
What the heck?
Interesting.
So 5 for a 4/5, and every end step, every opponent loses 2 life. Well, that's good. Yeah. And then if they have less life, then you get 1/3s.
That's a good baby maker.
Yeah, it basically just sits there and is going to drain them until, and then you're going to get a bunch of 1/3s.
I mean, black likes to do that, so it's very black themed for sure.
Next up, we got Illuminator Zerzas. 2 in the black for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature Necron. Secrets of the Soul is its ability. It says tap, sacrifice another creature, add an amount of black mana equal to the sacrificed creature's mana value. So you can sacrifice your creatures to gain mana equal to their mana value.
I mean, I think you do that if it's about to die, and then you just get mana.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Do that in response to them killing it and then playing it instant.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty good.
Yep, seems good to me. Next we have Emotek, the Stormlord. 2 black for a 3/3 Necron legendary artifact creature with Therion. Whenever one or more artifact cards leave your graveyard, create 2/2 black Necron warrior artifact creature tokens. And then it has the Grand Strategist, which is at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target artifact creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains menace until end of turn.
So this is another busted ass artifact, dude.
Really good.
Yeah, really good.
This syncs with like the other artifact theme very well.
Next up, we got Locust Heavy Destroyer. It is 1 black, black, black. For an artifact creature Necron 3/2 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. So that's 4 mana with a lot of black pips.
Mm-hmm.
With 3/2 flying, each player sacrifices a creature.
Identity.
And then it has Unearth for 5 and 3 blacks.
So this is one you definitely have to play in a mono black deck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, good luck getting all that.
This is definitely one that I wouldn't play other than in this deck where you can pay life, or like Keurig where you can pay life for all the black pips. Because having to pay 4 for that effect, like you can pay 3 or 2 for a lot of those effects in black already. They just want it flying.
Yeah.
The Unearth is nice though because you can do it late game, but I don't know if I'm ever going to want to spend 8 mana.
It's a lot of mana though.
And I probably have something else at that point.
You got something you can spend 8 on that's way better, I'm sure, than this. So, definitely limited in that regard for sure. Next we have Lichguard. It is 2 and a black for a 2/3 Necron artifact creature. Its ability is Guardian Protocols, which is 3. You pay 3 and a black. Sacrifice Lichguard. Return all legendary creature cards from your graveyard to your hand.
It's good in a legendary
Matters deck. Yep, that's pretty nice.
Next up, we got Mandate of Abandon. 3 and a black for a sorcery. Choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. So this is one-sided board wipe if you have the strongest creature. You blow everything up with that.
If you're already ahead.
Decently cost, only 4.
Yep. Not bad. Pretty cheap, really. And that can be pretty powerful if you're...
Only downside is you have to have a creature that's pretty big. Like, if you don't, this is horrible.
Yeah, you definitely have to
like
be
if you have just a 1/1, this ain't going to do anything.
Yeah, that's not going to do shit.
So...
next we have Mortarion, Daemon Primarch. It is 5 and a black for a 5/6 Demon Primarch legendary creature. It has flying, and then it has Primarch of the Death Guard, which is at the beginning of your end step. You may pay X. If you do, create X 2/2 black Astartes warrior creature tokens with menace. X can't be greater than the amount of life you lost this turn.
So if you lose life, you can create 2/2s.
With menace.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad. I mean, black likes to lose life, so there's a payoff for you.
Also combos with the guy that you attack, play all my stuff for life, and then make a bunch of 2/2s.
Yeah, just make a bunch of dudes.
Next up, we got Necron Deathmark, 3 black for a 5/3 artifact creature, Necron with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target creature, and target player mills 3 cards.
Oh, that's
5/3 with Flash. That's good for 5 mana.
That is very good. Yep. That seems very good to me.
I'd play it.
Yeah, well, for sure. Next we have Necron Overlord. It's 2 black for a 2/5 Necron Noble artifact creature. It has Relentless March, which is pay X, tap it, tap X untapped artifacts you control. Target opponent loses X life. Damn.
Seems good.
It's a lot of stuff that you have to tap to do that, but
just mana on your artifacts. But, I mean, whatever. You can kill someone if you have a bunch of artifacts.
You can literally kill somebody if you have enough, yes. Which, that's good.
Next up is Nurgle's Conscription, 4 and a black for an instant. Put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped under your control, then exile that player's graveyard.
That's awesome.
So, let me get the best thing from your graveyard, and then goodbye your graveyard.
That's so rude. I love it.
It's pretty good.
That's amazing.
It's decently mana costed for that too.
Yeah, definitely not bad. And it's an instant too, which is also pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Out of the Tombs. That is 2 and a black for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 Eon counters on Out of the Tombs, then mill cards equal to the number of Eon counters on it. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, instead return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If you can't, you lose the game.
So every turn you're milling more cards, but you can't lose by decking.
Yep.
Interesting.
So you better have a lot of creatures
back. All right, next up is Plague Drone, 3 and a black for a 3/3 flying demon. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Haha, anti your gain life decks.
Yep.
No gaining life for you.
Yeah, that's just the big middle finger to the life gain. Love that. Next we have Poxwalkers. It is 2 and a black for a 3/1 zombie creature with Death Touch. And then it has Curse of the Walking Pox, which is whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Poxwalkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Well, the easiest way to do that is play your commander.
Yeah, literally.
And then you get this back. 3/1 Death Touch.
Or like Dredge.
Well, that's not casting. It's just drawing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
but if you like flashback something or copy a spell or whatever. So
yep.
Next up we got Primarius Eliminator, 4 and a black for a 3/2 Astartes Warrior. When it enters the battlefield, choose one. Destroy target creature, or creatures target player controls get -2/-2 until end of turn. Probably just going to destroy a creature.
Probably.
Unless they have a bunch of tokens or something.
Yeah. It's -2/-2 is kind of eh. Yeah. Right. Unless they have 1/1s or 2/2s. Like, yeah.
Also, it's like 5 mana for a 3/2. I'm hitting one thing.
I feel like this is pretty pricey for what it does.
Yeah.
You can do better stuff for 5. Next we have Royal Warden. It's 3 black for a 3/2 Necron artifact creature. It has the Phalanx Commander. When Royal Warden enters the battlefield, create 2 tapped 2/2 black Necron Warrior artifact creature tokens. And then it has Unearth 3 black.
Well, so you get 2 tokens and then 2 tokens again.
Yep. It's not bad. I guess that's about
what you get for that price. Unearth is cheaper than the regular cost, at least.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. I mean, that's just encouraging you to play from the graveyard, which is nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Next is Shard of the Nightbringer. 5 black, so 8 mana.
Lot.
For an 8/8 creature Catan?
Catan, yeah.
Catan, is it like Cthulhu-tan? I don't know. Catan. Alright, flying. It has Drain Life. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, target opponent loses half their life, rounded up, and you gain life lost this way. It's like a Kusho for Commander.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you have to cast it, which sucks, instead of just dying.
Instead of dying, yeah. It's a lot harder to cast.
But, I mean, if you're playing like you might put this in like a Joda deck, because then you can just pay 5 for it.
Oh, yeah. So, that's how you get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard casting that, that's a lot of mana.
It is. I mean, it's not that hard if you have like a couple of coffers and stuff. But
oh yeah, coffers makes it easy. But Next we have Shard of the Void Dragon, which is 4 black, so one less than the last one, for a 7/7 Catan creature with flying. And then as Spear of the Void Dragon, which is whenever Shard of the Void Dragon attacks, each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent. And then it has Matter Absorption, which is whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Shard of the Void Dragon.
So you're attacking, making them sack non-lands, and you're hoping with their artifacts, so it gets bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Definitely good. Fits the artifact theme going on here.
Next up, we got Skorpek Lord, 2 and a black for a 3/2 artifact creature, Necron Noble with Menace. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+0 and have Menace, and it has Unearth for 2 and a black. That's not bad.
Not bad.
Give all your artifacts +1/+0 and Menace.
Buff stuff. Not a bad cost for that either, which is pretty nice. Next we have Sloppity Bile Piper. It is 3 and a black for a 3/3 demon creature, and it has Jolly Gut Pipes, which is pay 2 and tap it, sacrifice a creature. The next creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Another old keyword, so if you don't know what Cascade does, is when you cast your next creature spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost, put the exile cards at the bottom of your library in a random order. Again, a keyword from like shards.
Yeah, it's interesting to have mono black Cascade card. You don't see that very often.
No, that's interesting, all right.
Next up, we got Cesarek the Silent King. 1 black, so 4 mana for a 3/4 legendary artifact creature, Necron with flying. Whenever Cesarek the Silent King attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put an artifact creature card or a vehicle from among the cards milled this way into your hand.
Ooh, nice.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Get your artifacts in hand, which is what you want for that kind of deck for sure. Next we have Tallyman of Nurgle. It is 2 and a black for a 2/3 Astartes Warrior creature with lifelink. And then it has the 7-fold chant. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you draw a card and lose 1 life. If 7 or more creatures died this turn, instead, you draw 7 cards and lose 7 life. So that's literally a Gristlebrand.
Yeah, except you got to kill 7 things.
Kill 7 things off, but...
That's not bad, though. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
Next up, we got Technomancer. 5 black for a 5/1 artifact creature, Necron Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards and return any number of artifact creature cards with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's pretty good.
That's not bad. Very not sticky at all, but has a good ability.
I mean, it's a 5/1, yeah. It's basically you're going to play it for 7 and then get 6 mana of stuff from the graveyard. And you have a 5/1 on top of that.
It's basically a 6-cost Genesis wave, so...
Yeah.
Just about, at least. Yeah, you definitely play it for the effect. Next up, we have Their Name is Death, which is 3 black, or 6 total, for a sorcery. Destroy all non-artifact creatures. That's expensive.
It's good in an artifact deck. Really bad against an artifact deck.
Yeah,
especially for 6 mana. If it costs like 5, it would be about in the same place as like the non-dragon one. But the artifacts, I feel, come up more often than like a specific creature type. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely worth it if you are playing the artifact deck, and you probably have the mana for it. Otherwise, yeah, it's
definitely cheaper than playing like a Plague Wind or something. So
oh yeah, for sure.
Next up, their number is Legion X and black. So X and 4 blacks For a sorcery, create X, tap 2/2 black Necron warrior artifact creature tokens. Then you gain life equal to the number of artifacts you control. Exile, their number is Legion. You may cast. Their number is Legion from your graveyard. So for some reason it gets discarded or something, you can still cast it.
That's cool.
But the fact that it costs X and 4 is kind of crazy.
Mana.
But in an artifact deck, you could gain a lot of life off that.
I mean, yeah. And in artifact decks, you can have mana up the ass. Like, mana is usually not a big deal. And that's what you're going to be playing this in anyway, so.
Right.
Next, we have a saga. It is called The War in Heaven. It is 3 black, or 6 total. Chapter 1 is you draw 3 cards and you lose 3 life. Part 2 is, that's definitely not bad. Part 2 is mill 3 cards. And then part 3 is choose up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 8 or less in your graveyard. Return each of them to the battlefield with a Necrodermis counter on it. They're artifacts in addition to their other types.
I think the middle effect is lame. The mill 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's just setting up.
And then you basically like Protein Hulk, but for 8.
Yeah. The first step.
It's fine. The first step is good. The third one is not bad.
Yeah.
It's a 6 mana. It's an okay card.
It's decent.
If you need to bring
part
back
two
cards,
is literally just make sure you have stuff for part 3. So it's like whatever.
I mean, you could just play a different like instead of this card because it's cost 6. I'd rather just play like Phyrexian Arena and like 1 bring back spell.
Yeah.
Like it'd be 2 cards to equal this, but you don't have to wait 3 turns.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost 6 probably.
Yeah. Next up, we got Tombblade, 4 black for a 5/4 artifact creature, Necron with flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player loses life equal to the number of creatures they control unless they sacrifice a creature. It has Unearth for 6 black.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if they have, but I mean, think of it this way: if they have 0 creatures, they lose 0.
Right.
They have 1, they lose 1. 2, they lose 2. Like at what point? Like, because if they have 5 or more creatures, like they're probably okay sacrificing the worst one.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how good this will be. It's definitely good if it can stick out there and keep swinging, but
yeah, for sure.
Like for the one swing, like especially the Unearth, the single swing, like against like a token deck or something, they're just going to sacrifice one of the tokens. Like
the Unearth is probably not worth it unless they literally just got board wiped or not even board wiped.
No, because then it's like you just get in for 5. Like
yeah, no, that's
not because like the abilities can do 0. So like
I don't know. It's
I think it reads better than it actually is.
Yeah,
like, I don't think it's actually
paper,
that good.
But yeah, in reality, I don't know how this is going to work. Oh god, we're almost at the end here. There's a lot of black cards.
Yeah.
Next we have Trazyn the Infinite. It is 4 black for a 4/6 Necron legendary artifact creature with Death Touch, and then it has Prismatic Gallery. As long as Trazyn the Infinite is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all artifact cards in your graveyard. Hoo-wee. That can be really good.
Let me tap my 4/6 Death Toucher for 2 mana because Sol Ring's in my graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like my Soul Ring, my Worn Power Stone, my Mana Vault, this taps for like 10 mana. It's like, what the fuck?
Then you just need an artifact with untap in there so you can keep using all
those. Like Pine or something like that. There's artifacts that do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems good.
Next up we got Treyarch Stalker, 3 black for a 4/5 artifact creature Necron with targeting relay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent. Creatures attacking the chosen player have menace.
Ooh, politics. Fun. This is a politics card if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Oh, everybody attack him. All your stuff will have menace.
Hey, he's winning. Attack him.
Yeah, attack him. Attack him.
Don't pay attention to me.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. And finally, we have Venom Crawler. It is 3 in the black for a 2/2 demon artifact creature with lifelink, and then it has Devourer of Souls. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Venom Crawler. So it just keeps getting bigger.
I really wish it didn't cost 4.
Yeah, 4 for a 2/2. I mean, it's gonna get bigger though. Like,
yeah,
but and it has lifelink.
I know. That's why I'm like, I really wish it was 3. It'd be perfect, or 2 even would be really good. But
2 would be busted. Wow, black was a ride and a half. Holy shit!
Yeah, black.
Every one of these artifact cards is insane.
Yeah, I think if you had to pick the best one, it's probably the first one, right, where you can pay a life to cast artifacts.
And then everything is
the mythic rare, and the mythic rare one is really good too. The mythic rare one's like the creating 2/2s when artifacts leave your graveyard, and putting artifact cards from your graveyard into your hand. Like, so those are all good too. But they all work together. So if you play one, you're probably playing
all build off each other. Like obviously not all these are made for the artifact theme, but the ones that are very good. Very, very, like, this is going to be a crazy artifact deck.
Yeah.
All right, so red time.
Yeah, so first one, we got Aspiring Champion, 3 in a red for a 3/3 Astartes Warrior with a Menace. When Aspiring Champion deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest into your library. If that creature is a demon, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So swing, sack this, flip cards to get a creature, you get it. So this trades for a different creature.
Yeah.
And then if it's a demon, you get to dome somebody or everybody with the power.
Well, if there's a lot of I do see some demons coming up, so it appears to be a few in this, at least in this set. So,
yeah, but I mean, like, even if you're not, it's like a polymorph deck, right? Like, you can just all right, I'm going to flip into Blightsteel.
Yeah, it's like, oh, oops, sorry, you lose.
Or you can just put big demons in there. Like, all right, flip into a big demon. Here you go, Runescar demon. Y'all take 7. I draw a card, or I get a card from my deck.
Yeah, that can be dirty easily.
Yeah, it can be if you build it right.
If it's built correctly. Next we have Bloodthirster. It is 5 in a red for a 6/6 demon creature. Flying trample. Whenever Bloodthirster deals combat damage to a player, untap it. After this combat phase, there is an additional combat phase. Bloodthirster can attack a player if it has already attacked this turn. So that's gross.
No, it can't attack a player. It has already attacked this turn.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I read that wrong.
So you can swing with this.
Attack somebody else.
Yeah, so if you're playing Commander, you can swing at one person, get another one, swing at the next guy, get another one, swing at the next guy, get another one, and then attack anybody, but just not with him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is gross.
So you would get 4 or 5 combat.
All of the additional combat phases.
Or just, one-on-one, it's you swing, get 1 combat where this doesn't attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not bad.
Just think of this paired with, like, what is it, Martial's Anthem that also gives you additional combat phases.
Yeah, that's a headache.
This can just get out of hand. Just combats left and right. It's like,
and it's a 6/6 flying trample.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Next up, we got Dark Apostle. 3 in a red for a 3/3 Astartes Warlock. It has Gift of Chaos, 3 in tap. The next non-creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Interesting.
Cool. Like that.
Cascade.
Yeah, big. If you got something big to play, then put it on that. Next up, we have Exocrine. It is X2 red for a 2/2 Tyrannid creature. It has Ravenous, which is this creature enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card when it enters. And then it has Bioplasmic Barrage. When Exocrine enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to each player and each other creature.
That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. If you pay 7, so you pay, 8 mana, you're getting a 7/7 and dealing 5 to everything else and drawing a card.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's decent. It's pretty good.
Next up, we got Keeper of Secrets, 5 and a red for a 6/4 creature demon with first strike and haste. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, Keeper of Secrets deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. Seems good in a copy deck.
Yeah. Copy that shit.
Copy deck, Foretell deck, playing you a giant commander.
Yeah. Seems nice. Let's see. Next we have.
Dude, this is I just realized that's busted in. It's busted in Marith.
Oh yeah.
Because Marith, every time you play him, he costs more. Mm-hmm. So every single time you play Marith, you're just gonna ding for what you cast him for. On top of that, on top of Marith's already busted effects.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
Combo. Awesome. All right, next we have Karn the Betrayer. It is 3 and a red for a 5/1 Astartes Berserker legendary creature. It has Berserker, which is Karn the Betrayer, attacks or blocks each combat if able. Then it has Sigil of Corruption. When you lose control of Karn the Betrayer, draw 2 cards. Ooh. And then it has the Betrayer. If damage would be dealt to Karn the Betrayer, prevent that damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it.
Alrighty then. So it's passed from the table, and you're going to.
This is a whack card.
Attacks or blocks if able.
So this is just going to get passed around like crazy.
Everyone's going to draw cards.
That's insane. That's fun. It's definitely not good, but it's a fun card for sure.
Yeah. Next up, we got Knight Rampager. It's 4 and a red for a 6/5 artifact creature knight with trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random. Knight Rampager attacks that player this combat if able. When Knight Rampager dies, it deals 4 damage to target opponent chosen at random. So now I gotta choose my attacks at random. And that's who this is attacking, and if it dies, that's who it's dealing damage to.
This is such a red card.
Yeah.
Let's just roll the dice, see what happens. All right. Next we have Let the Galaxy Burn. It is X5 red for a sorcery. It has Cascade. Let the Galaxy Burn deals X plus 2 damage to each creature that didn't enter the battlefield this turn.
That's interesting because you'll cascade first, so
yeah,
you cascade into something that won't get hit with damage.
Right, because it's on the stack.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Well, because the cascade thing will come in first. That's why the way they worded it is it didn't enter this turn. Mm-hmm. So whatever you cascade into does not get destroyed. But it's 6 and X. Like,
that's
really... Cascade, so if you pay 1... it's going to deal. You're paying 7. You're cascading for 6, and then it's going to deal 3 damage to everything that on the board. Basically, it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. It seems like a lot of mana, but you do get
a lot of stuff for it.
So I guess it pays off.
Next up, we got Scream Killer, 4 and a red for a 5/5 Tyrannid with trample. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 5 or greater, the Scream Killer deals 5 damage to any target. Oh, so I get the Lava X whenever I play something for 5.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a 5/5 with trample. So
yeah,
definitely
I'll take
bad.
that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Finally, we have the Red Terror. It is 3 and a red for a 4/3 Tyrannid legendary creature. It has Advanced Species. Whenever a red source you control deals damage to 1 or more permanents and or players, a +1/+1 counter on the Red Terror.
That's okay.
Yep, it's good for burn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to be doing, and then this thing just gets bigger.
So of these red cards, not very many of them seem that good. Which one do you think is the best?
I mean, that Aspiring Champion might be good if you build it right.
Yeah. I mean, the Bloodthirster extra combat's can be good too.
Yeah, the Bloodthirsters can be busted if you're in the right scenario. A lot of these are very...
they're all very expensive cards too.
They are. They're all very much like based on like a certain scenario.
Right. All right, on to green. We got Biophagus first. It's 1 and a green for a 1/3 human tyrannid wizard with Geonic Enhancement. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. If this mana is spent to cast a creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. That's flipping good.
That's awesome.
It's that 2 for like 1/3 cast for any color. I'd play that. Oh, I guess a 1/1 too. Cool.
Seems good. Especially for like creature based, which green usually is. So it seems good to me. Next we have Bone Sabers. It is 2 and a green for an artifact equipment. Whenever an equipped creature attacks, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Oh my god. And equip 3. So that is a high equip cost, but that's really very
high
good.
Equip cost. It's a good effect, high equip cost. So you can find some way around that equip cost. It becomes a very good card.
Like SFM or something if you pair it with white, maybe.
Yep. Next up, we got Broodlord, X3 and green for a 3/3 Tyrannid with Ravenous. This creature enters the battlefield. X 1/1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card when it enters. When it enters the battlefield, distribute X 1/1 counters among any number of other target creatures you control. So if you spend 9 mana to draw a card, and you have an 8/8 and 5 1/1s on things.
Definitely a board.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just hope you don't get board wiped after that. You spend your whole turn doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I rather tooth and nail personally, but that's just me.
Right.
If you're gonna pay that much, you may as well just play your bombs. Next we have Clamavis. It's 4 and a green for a 3/3 human tyrannid artificer creature. It has Prodameter Hailer, which is each creature you control gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, so it basically doubles everything.
Doubles your 1/1 counters, yeah.
Like that.
Next up is Haruspex, 3 and a green for a 2/2 Tyrannid. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And tap, remove X 1/1 counters from it, add X mana of any one color. That seems really good.
That's nice. Little mana reserve for you.
Yep.
Green likes mana, so that can be really good. Next we have Hierophant Biotitan. Holy crap, it is 10 green. That is 12 CMC. 12. 12, Tyrannid creature. It has Frenzied Metabolism, which is as an additional cost, like you need an additional cost of 12 mana, as an additional cost to cast the spell, you remove any number of +1/+1 counters from among creatures you control. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each counter removed this way. Okay. Vigilance, Reach, Ward 2. And then it has Titanic. Hierophant and Biotitan can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Okay, that makes sense. That's why it costs 12. Holy shit.
But it doesn't have trample. Come on.
I know. Like, what green card doesn't have trample? It's huge. Like
I'm going to remove 10 things with the power. Oh, no, it costs 2 less. So 5 things with the power to get a 12/12 out for 2 mana.
That is really good.
It's still good, yeah. If you can get rid of 5 on one counters, you can pay 2 for a 12/12 vigilance reach.
It has that much power and toughness. Like, come on, don't give me trample. Really.
Next up, we got the Hormigunt Horde X in a green for a 1/1 Tyrannid with Ravenous. Enters with X1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card when it enters. Whenever a land enters the battlefield of your control, you may pay 3. If you do, return, 2 in a green. If you do, return Horde from your graveyard to your hand.
Oh, nice.
That's really good, right? So
you got the recurrence.
It's basically 1 and X comes in with X counters. If you make it 5, if you pay 6, you get to draw a card, and then whenever it landfall, you could pay 3 to bring it back. That seems really good.
Keep doing it if he dies. That's nice. Yeah. Got the recurrence.
Got the recursion built on it.
Yep. Next we have Lictor. It is 3 and a green for a 3/3 Tyrannid creature with flash. It has Pheromone Trail. When Lictor enters the battlefield, if a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control this turn, create a 3/3 green Tyrannid warrior creature token with trample.
That's all right. Anytime your opponent... Oh, no. When you flash it in, you get 1... Oh, you only get 1 3/3? So you get 2 3/3s for 4? That's meh.
Pretty meh.
Meh.
Very mediocre. Just unfortunate.
Next up is Nexos. 1 and a green for a 2/2 human Tyrannid advisor. Basic lands you control have tap, add waste. That's super good. What's the downside? Spend this mana only on costs that contain X. Okay, never playing this card.
Yeah. Had us in the first half there.
Yep.
And then,
it is good with some of these cards in this deck where they have X in the cost, but
if you're playing a deck that plays a lot of X cards, then sure. But otherwise, yeah, that's too niche to really be played, unfortunately. Next we have Old One Eye. It is 5 and a green for a 6/6 Tyrannid legendary creature with trample. Other creatures you control also have trample. When Odd One Eye enters the battlefield, create a 5/5 green Tyrannid creature token. And then it has fast healing. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard 2 cards. If you do, return Old One Eye from your graveyard to your hand. Damn.
Seems good. 6 for a 5/5 and a 6/6 with trample.
And all your other shit also has trample.
Yeah, and it can come back if it dies.
It comes back very easily. I like this.
We got Sporocyst. XX green. 0/0 Tyrannid with Ravenous. Defender. When it enters the battlefield, search library for X basic land cards, put on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. So for 3 mana, you get 1 land. So because you got to pay 2 for every one.
Because 2 for X, yeah.
So 3 mana is the rampant growth. 5 is 2.
So that's like a that's 1 more than explosive vegetation.
Yeah. And you're not going to pay 7.
Fuck no.
For 3.
It's not worth it.
Are you?
That's definitely.
And here they want you to pay X as 5 to get the extra draw card. So it's like, are you really going to pay 11 mana?
No.
To get a 5/5 draw card and get 5 lands in?
I can harmonize for 4. Thank you. And that draws 3 cards.
Yeah.
My God.
I think this is an okay card as a 1/1 that puts 1 card in. That's the only... Like, if you play this as 3 mana for a 1/1 that puts 1 land in, that's okay.
If you pay the lower bracket tiers, it works out with like what the fetches would be, but it definitely does not work out in the higher brackets at all. It's not worth it. So yeah, this is it's pretty mediocre, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Next we have Termagant Swarm. It is X and a green for a 0/0 Tyrannid creature with Ravenous again. It has Death Frenzy. When Termagant Swarm dies create a number of 1/1 green Tyrannid creature tokens equal to Termagant Swarm's power.
So you make an X, an X, 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 and then you make that many 1/1s. That's fine.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, the goal is to pay 6 mana, so you get to draw a card off of it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Tervigon X, 1 and a green for a 0/0 with Ravenous and Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green creature tokens.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad
pretty
either.
Good. That's like that's Tana's ability, I believe, in my Sidar and Tana deck.
Yeah. So like you can play this as a if you pay 7 mana, you have a 5/5 trampler that makes 1/1s when it hits. 5 1/1s when it hits. That's pretty good.
That works out well, definitely. Next up we have Toxicrene. It is 3 and a green for a 2/4 Tyrannid creature with reach and death touch. And then it has Hypertoxic Miasma. All lands have tap, add 1 mana of any color, and lose all other abilities.
I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that's pretty good because if you're playing like a 5-color deck, that helps you a lot, right? B, if all of your opponents are playing multicolor decks, whatever, because you're shutting off all of their effects.
Yeah.
So
especially if you're playing with ones that are like really troublesome.
And it's a 2/4 reach death touch, so if you really don't want it around, like if you don't want this around anymore, you can just swing into people or block something.
Yeah.
So
easy. Pretty nice card, actually. I like that.
So next up, we got Tyrant Guard, 3/3 for, or it's X and 2 and a green for a 3/3 Tyrannid creature with Ravenous. Sacrifice them. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
Nice. Which is probably going to be most of them, especially if you're playing this.
You could 3 mana 3/3 this. You could 4 mana 4/4, 5 mana 5/5, 6 mana 6/6.
Yeah.
If you pay the 8 mana, you get an 8/8 and draw a card. Most of the time, I think you're probably just playing this as 3 for a 3/3, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
And just to sack off if they try and blow stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of green?
There's some pretty crazy stuff in here, and there's also some very mediocre stuff, so it's kind of 50-50.
Obviously, the best 5 colors is black, but they had a million black cards, so
black was like twice as big as the other freaking ones.
Yeah.
Old One Eye is really good, I think.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's good. There's a couple like that freaking behemoth thing that was like a 12/12 was pretty sick.
Oh, the Bio Titan, yeah.
It sucks it doesn't have trample, but other than that, it's sick as hell. Especially since you can literally pay 2 to play it if you have the right kind of board, which is pretty cool. Well, that's it for the colored cards. Now we're on to multi. I believe it's my turn, right? So first of all, we have Belisarius Cowl. It is 2 white blue for a 2/4 human legendary artifact creature. It has Ultima Founding, which is tap it, tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, create a 2/2 white Arstares warrior creature token with vigilance. And it has Master of Machines. Tap it, tap X untapped creatures you control. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Seems good.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Artifact tribal again.
Yep. Definitely fits. That definitely fits the colors, too, of a traditional artifact deck.
Yeah, next up we got Epistolary Librarian. 2 white blue for a 3/4 Astartes Wizard. When it attacks, you may cast a spell with mana value X or less from your hand without paying its mana cost, where X is the number of attacking creatures.
Damn. Well, if you have enough,
pretty
you can
good.
play Omniscience for free.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that can definitely
seems good in like blue-white tokens or something.
Yeah, it can definitely be set up really nicely if you have the right.
Also decent in control because you just like attack and it's just him and just play like swords for free or something.
Yeah, or like embargo or one of those other control cards.
Well, it's any spell, so you can even just play another creature.
Yeah, you can really play another creature if you want.
Because so
it's also nice. Next up we have Calidus Assassin. It is 4 blue-black for a 3/3 human shapeshifter assassin creature with a flash. It has polymorphine, which is you may have Calidus Assassin enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has when this creature enters the battlefield, destroy up to one other target creature with the same name as this creature. So it literally just takes the place of it, essentially.
Yep. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Next up, we got Cybernetic Datasmith. 1 blue-black for a 0/1 artifact creature, human artificer with protection from robots. Protection from robots.
Robots. Okay. Interesting.
Blue and tap. Target player draws a card. Another target player creates a 4/4 robot token with this creature can't block. That's why it has pro robots, because
it's in the card.
It's on the card.
What on earth in Magic the Gathering is a robot?
It's a 4/4 artifact token.
I guess
that can't block. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm going to tap this. I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to give you a 4/4 robot that can't block, and then I can block it with my 0/1.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right. Next we have Inquisitor Eisenhorn. It is 2 blue-black for a 2/3 human Inquisitor legendary creature. You may reveal the first card you drew each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card this way, create Cherubale, a legendary 4/4 black demon creature with creature token with flying. Whenever Inquisitor Eisenhorn deals combat damage to a player, investigate that many times. That's nice.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right, next up.
Not bad he's added either, just good.
Yeah. Next up, we got Blood for the Blood God. It's 8 black, red. So it's 11 mana for an instant. With this spell, costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Okay. Discard your hand. Then draw 8 cards. Then it deals 8 damage to each opponent, and then exile it.
This is like a crazy ultimatum, basically.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of the best case scenario here. So best case scenario is I probably play Damnation for 4, blow up the 8 creatures. At least 8 creatures, so that this only costs 3. So then you're paying a total of 7 mana, and then you're going to draw a new hand of 8 and deal 8 damage to everybody. It's not bad. It's not
bad, yeah. For 7, basically you're paying 1 less than the number, which is pretty good.
It is an instance, so you could just do it in response to someone else board wiping too.
Yeah, you don't even have to board wipe, which is sick.
That's kind of cool about it.
That's the best case scenario.
Especially if you have no other cards in your hand. It's okay, discard 0 cards, draw 8.
This is the crazy Yugi top deck right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have Chaos Defiler. It is 3 black, red for a 5/4 artifact creature demon construct with trample, and it has battle cannon. When Chaos Defiler enters the battlefield or dies, for each opponent, choose a non-land permanent that player controls. Destroy one of them chosen at random. Nice.
Destroy one at random. That's so weird.
It's really weird.
Random McRandomson.
You want the full gamble deck? Well, here's a card for you.
Yeah, I guess. All right, next up is Drock 9. 4 black and a red for a legendary artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature. Equipped creature has menace and gets +X/+O, where X is the exile card's power. And equip is 2. Cheap equip costs a lot to get into
very
in the
expensive
first place.
to play, though.
But I mean, you can like what is that? Stormforge Mystic it in.
Yeah, you can SFM it easily.
And when it comes in, you're going to exile the biggest thing on the board. Yeah, so it's going to buff your things.
And it's going to be huge, which is pretty sick.
Seems like an okay card.
Yep. If you got a big creature in play, especially because
you exile your opponent's best thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be yours, which is also good.
Right.
So it's like, get that shit out of here. It's going to help me now.
Yep.
Next up, we have Hellbrute. It is 3 black, red for a 5/4. Astartes Dreadnought artifact creature with haste, and it has Sarcophagus. You may cast Hellbrute from your graveyard by exiling another creature card from your graveyard in addition to paying its other costs.
So it's a 5/4 with haste, and you can play it again from your graveyard for 5 and exiling a creature. That's not bad.
Yep, pretty sick.
Next up, we got Kill, Maim, Burn. 3 black, red for an instant. Choose 1 or more, destroy an artifact, destroy a creature, deal 3 damage to target player. Okay, well, for 5, I better be doing all 3 of those things.
Yeah, that's pretty high. Yeah. If you're doing all 3,
if you're doing all 3, it seems pretty good. It's worth it. If you only get to destroy a creature and 3 damage, I don't know. It might be worth the 5 there. It's pushing it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because like bolt being 1, and then like destroying a creature and destroying an artifact, those both cost like 2, so it works out. I would say.
If you don't hit all 3 modes, I don't see it's not really worth playing. But
yeah, you really have to hit all 3. Next up we have Lucius the Eternal. It is 3 black, red for a 5/3 Astartes Warrior legendary creature. It has haste. And then it has Armor of Shrieking Souls. That's terrifying. When Lucius the Eternal dies, exile it and choose target creature and opponent controls. When that creature leaves the battlefield, return Lucius the Eternal from exile to the battlefield under its owner's control.
So this dies, and then it comes back if you kill the creature you chose.
Yep. And I feel like if you're playing red or black, that shouldn't be too hard to do. So he just keeps coming back.
Next up is the Ruinous Powers. 2 black, red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose an opponent at random. Exile the top card of the player's library. Until end of turn, you may play that card, and you may spend mana over mana of any color to cast it. When you cast a spell this way, its owner loses life equal to its mana value.
Oh, damn.
So I'm playing stuff off of your guys' decks, and you're taking damage for it. It seems fun.
It does seem fun. For sure. Next up we have Adelan Jackal. It is 1 red-green for a 2/2 human tyrannid scout creature with trample and haste. And then it has skilled outrider. Whenever Adelan Jackal deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that seems really good for only 3 mana.
Yeah, pretty good.
Too bad it's not legendary to be your commander.
Yeah, God. Mana fetch commander deck.
Next up, we got Death Leaper, the Terror Weapon. 2 red, green for a 3/3 legendary creature Tyrannid with flash and haste. And creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn have double strike.
Nice.
But only the ones that entered this turn, so you need haste on all the other creatures too.
They gotta have haste or something.
Yeah.
But if they do, then that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up we have Mawlock. It is X red green for a 2/2 Tyraniid creature with Ravenous. And it has Terror from the Deep. When Mawlock enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature an opponent controls. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead.
Oh, so you can fight something.
Yep. Get rid of those pesky creatures that are not blocking.
1 red and a green for an enchantment. Shadow on the Warp is next. It's an enchantment, costs 3, 1 red and a green. For the first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, deals 2 damage to that player.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, your creatures cost less. Their non-creatures deal 2 damage to them.
Yeah, it's pretty
Seems
awesome.
good for only 3.
Yeah, that's really cheap for that ability for sure. I want that in my deck.
Right?
Like, it's really good. I can't believe it only costs 3. Like that's awesome. Next we have Assault Intercessor. It is 1 white black for a 3/2 Astartes warrior creature. First strike menace. It has Chainsword. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life.
Seems good.
Yep, definitely seems good.
Next up, we got Commissioner Sabrina Rain. 1 white and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature human soldier. Whenever Commissioner Sabrina Rain attacks, each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. And it has pay 2 and sacrifice another creature. You gain 2 life and draw a card.
Ooh,
it's a lot on a
that's a lot on a
2/2.
3-cost creature. Damn.
Yeah, and it can be your commander.
Freaking Orzhov here, fucking packing a punch. Jesus.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Company Commander, 2 white black for a 2/4 human soldier creature with command section. When Company Commander enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have. And it has Bring It Down. Whenever Company Commander attacks, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Nice. It's a lot of Death Touch.
Get a few 1/1s, and then all your stuff gets Death Touch when it attacks. It's pretty good.
That's sick.
Next up, we got Exterminatus. Exterminatus. Exterminatus? Exterminatus.
Exterminatus, yeah.
Exterminatus. Sounds like a play on Terminus, I feel.
Yeah, it basically, yeah.
It's 5 white and a black for sorcery. Non-land permanents your opponents control lose indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents.
Damn.
Yeah, let me get rid of all your indestructible.
I mean, it fucking better for it costing 7.
Yeah.
My God. And it being a sorcery. Jesus. I mean, yeah.
The only downside is that it's a sorcery. I really wish it was an instant, because then, like...
If it was an instant, that would be way more worth it.
If it was an instant, you could be like, okay, someone board wipes and they play the... Okay, instant, hexproof, indestructible, and then you could be like, instant, like, they lose it.
No, they lose it, and they still die. Yeah, good board wipe otherwise. Just, you better have the mana for it.
But it gets around Darksteel and Blightsteel, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if you're about to lose the game, it's totally worth it. Next up, we have Naam Shai Murad. It is 2 white black for a 3/3 human rogue legendary creature, and it has Rogue Trader. Whenever Naam Shai Murad deals combat damage to a player, you may have that player return target permanent card from their graveyard to their hand. If you do, that player chooses a permanent card in your graveyard, then you put it onto the battlefield under your control. Damn.
So they get any permanent card from their graveyard to their hand. and then they pick a card in your graveyard to put on the battlefield.
Yep.
Interesting. So they're gonna get their best thing back in their hand. You're gonna get your worst thing in play.
Yeah.
I don't know how good that is. It seems like a rogue trade to me.
Yeah, rogue. It sure does.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the Sister Hospitaller. 4 white and a black for a 3/2 human cleric. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and you gain life equal to its mana value.
Nice.
So you get a creature back, and instead of losing life, you gain life.
That's kind of nice.
It's pretty good.
Not bad at all. Next up, we have Sister Repentia. It is 3 white, black for a 5/1 human warrior creature with martyrdom. When Sister Repentia dies, you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. And then Miracle Orzhov, white, black.
So I feel like this is good if you miracle it, because 2 for a 5/1, and when it dies, you gain 2, draw 2 is really good. But 5 mana for that seems horrible.
Yeah. It's not great. Definitely want to miracle it, and it's pretty great actually. But yeah, that's not always easy to do.
Next up, we got Chaos Mutation. 3 blue and a red for an instant. Exile any number of target creatures controlled by different players. For each creature card exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then puts the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. So it polymorphs a bunch of things at play.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
Any number of target creatures controlled by... Yep.
Is it random or do they choose?
No, it's just you just flip it off. You get to choose all the targets.
Okay. That's... Well, yeah, so it's kind of it's a chance then. Basically, you're hoping that what they get is worse than what's on the field, right?
Yeah, you're hoping that they get worse than what's on the field. Or you target all your own shit.
Or you do it yourself, and you hope you get better stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, it's chaotic, all right. Who knows what's going to happen? Could be good for you or really bad.
I think that's how it works. Any number of target creatures controlled by different players. I think that's how it works. It could be you could just choose one from every player. I don't know. But then...
that's how I'm reading it.
Yeah, I think you could choose any number of any targets.
Yeah.
Controlled by anybody. Which is weird that it says by different players, though. Because that doesn't need to be there. But whatever.
That's clarifying.
So that might be a rules clarification or Oracle text clarification. You got to read up on how that works. But
that could be interesting. Love to see how that turns out. Next up, we have Exalted Flamer of Tzink. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. It is 2 blue red for a 2/4 demon creature. It has Sorcerer's Inspiration. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard to your hand. And it has Fire of that. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this deals 1 damage to each opponent.
So, at the beginning of your upkeep, you get an instant sorcery back. And then whenever you cast an sorcery, you ping someone, you deal damage to everybody. That's pretty good. It's like Gutter Snipe kind of.
Basically. Definitely built around it real nice.
Next up, we got Garrison Starn Kellermorph. 1 blue red for a 3/2 legendary creature Tyrannid human with Ward 2. And whenever another source you control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent or player, this deals 2 damage to that permanent or player in set. So you have Pinger Tribal Commander now. Yes!
We got Prodigal Sorcerers.
Got my Prodigal Sorcerers and all those red ones that do the same thing, and all those
a lot of cards that deal
Pinger
1.
deck. All the ones that tap deal 1 now tap deal 2. Got a commander for it.
That's funny. Just put all the pingers in this deck. Like put in the freaking like stinging reef or whatever that is, and the all the stuff that
people have that deck already, but there's no commander for it, so they just pick something.
Now there's a commander.
Now there is. So
perfect.
There you go.
Just ping it right on down. Oh my god. Next up we have Magnus the Red. It is 3 red-blue for a 4/5 Demon Patriarch, Demon Primarch legendary creature with a flying. It has unearthly something.
Power.
Oh, it's power. I couldn't read it. I'm sorry. The italic messed it up. Unearthly power. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control. And it has Blade of Magnus. Whenever Magnus the Red deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token.
Yeah, so your sorceries cost less for all your tokens, and then it makes tokens, so token tribal.
Yep, very nice. Make your shit cost basically nothing.
Next up we got Mutalith Vortex Beast, 4 blue-red for a 6/6 mutant beast with trample with Warp Vortex. When it enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each opponent you have. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, deal 3 damage to that player. So it'll be like, James, flip a coin. All right, I win it, I draw a card. I lose it, you take 3. So it's like heads I win, tails you lose type thing.
That's funny. Damn. It's like Mana Crypt, but drawing cards instead of mana.
Right.
Or tapping for 3. That's funny. Next we have Pink Horror. It is 3 blue-red for a 4/4 demon horror creature with Coruscating Flames. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Pink Horror deals 2 damage to any target. And it has Split. When Pink Horror dies, create 2/2/2 blue and red demon horror creature tokens named Blue Horror with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature deals 1 damage to any target. So it literally just keeps going.
Why? Okay. So you have a Pink Horror, and when it dies, you create 2/2 blue and red horrors that are called Blue Horror. Why isn't one called blue and one called red?
I don't know. That would make more sense.
Okay. All right, next up is Zangor Shaman. 2 blue and a red for a 3/3 mutant shaman with flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, copy the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn when you cast it. You may choose new targets for the copy. It's pretty good. Swing in, get copies.
Copy that bullshit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that matches lots of decks. Next we have Winged Hive Tyrant. It is 3 blue-red for a 4/4 Tyrannid creature with flying and haste. The Will of the Hive Mind, which is other creatures you control with counters on them, have flying and haste. Nice.
Give all your stuff with counters, flying and haste. 5-color, 1/1 counter deck. Here we come.
Yep. Exactly.
Next up is Zonathrope X blue-red for a 0/0 Tyrannid with Ravenous, flying, ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, deals X damage to any target. So 7 mana, 5/5, draw a card, deal 5 damage, flying, ward 2. Seems okay.
Pretty decent. Yeah, definitely playable. Next up, we have Gargoyle Flock. It is 2 green-blue for a 2/2 Tyrannid gargoyle creature with flying, and it has Sky Swarm, which is at the beginning of your end step. If a creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 1/1 blue Tyrannid gargoyle creature with flying. Creature token with flying.
So at the end step, if you play the creature, you get another a 1/1. Okay, it's
Not bad.
bad.
Cost 4 for a 2/2. It's like, bad.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, the turn you play this, you're going to get a 1/1 though, right? So it's like 4 for a 2/2 and a 1/1 with flying.
Yeah, that's
not bad.
Too bad. Yeah.
Next up, we got Malanthrope. 1 green blue for a 2/2 Tyranid with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on it for each creature card exiled this way.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, this can get to be a big flyer.
Yeah, big boy if it's a creature based deck.
Or it can just be a 2/2 flyer. But exile's a graveyard.
Depends on the scenario. You hope there's creatures in it. Next up we have Ravener. It is X green blue for a 0/0 Tyranid creature with flash and ravenous. When Ravener enters the battlefield, target creature attacks target opponent this turn if able. That's
interesting.
Okay,
so you can flash it in and force your opponent to attack somebody else.
Yeah.
It's okay if you just play 2 to do that versus playing
you
creature.
Just play it as a spell, basically.
Yeah. Next up, we got Tyranid Heriadan, 4 green blue for a 4/4 Tyranid with flying and ward 4. And whenever Tyranid Heriadan or another Tyranid you control does combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue Tyranid Gargoyle creature token with flying. That's good.
Yeah, it is really good. Ward
Tyranid
4?
Tribal.
Damn. That's a lot of mana you have to pay to deal with it.
Yeah, and every time your Tyranids hit, you're going to get 1/1s flying.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. So there's your Tyranid tribal deck.
Yep.
Next up, we got Tyranid Prime. It is 1 green blue for a 0/4 Tyranid creature with evolve. So that's another keyword. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And then it has Synapse creature, which is other creatures you control have evolve.
Yeah, evolve is all the way back. That was a long time ago.
That's really old. I honestly can't even remember what it's from, but it's old as hell.
It's like
I forgot that was even a keyword.
What the heck is it? It's either like Gate Crash or something, or what is that? It's one of those older sets like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other creatures having evolve is good.
That's
anytime you play something bigger, everything's going to get bigger.
Yep. It's like guaranteed, basically.
Next up, we got the Birth of Imperium. It is 2 white, blue, black for a saga. The first chapter is create a 2/2 creature token with vigilance for each opponent you have. Second chapter is each opponent sacrifices a creature. The third chapter is draw 2 cards for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. So this, I don't know. Because it's like, okay, I make 3 2/2s. Each opponent sacks creature. I maybe draw 2 to 6 cards.
You might get the last part if you're lucky.
I feel like if you're getting the last part to draw 6 cards, you're probably already ahead in the game and you didn't need to play this card.
Yeah. This is very much you win if you're ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know how much you actually need to play this card.
Yeah, this card is whatever, I guess. Next up, we have Inquisitor Greyfax. It is 1 white, blue, black for a 3/3 human Inquisitor legendary creature with vigilance, and then he has unquestionable wisdom. Other creatures you can control get +1/+0 and have vigilance, and then he also has Hunt for Heresy, which is tap 1 and tap him. Tap target creature and opponent controls, investigate.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Buffs your dudes, and you can tap down an opponent's dude and investigate.
Yep, and the vigilance is nice too.
Next up, we got Marnius Calgar, 2 white, blue, black for a 3/5 legendary creature Astartes Warrior with double strike. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, you draw a card.
Oh, God.
And it has pay 6, create 2/2/2 white warrior creature tokens with vigilance. It seems really good.
Does seem pretty good.
Like, okay, I'm going to play this in a token deck and just keep making tokens and drawing cards.
Double strike is nice.
Yeah.
Draw cards. And even the last part's not bad because they also have vigilance.
Right. I mean, the last part is 6, make 2/2/2s, draw 1 card, whatever. It's going to be better if you have a bunch of, like, pay 1 mana, make 1/1/1. Pay 2 mana, make 2 1/1s. And then every time you're doing that, you're drawing cards on top of it.
Yep. But yeah,
that's where it becomes good.
Card has the whole package, though, so that's pretty nice. Next up, we have The Flesh is Weak. It is 2 white, blue, black for an enchantment. When the flesh is weak, it enters the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them are artifacts in addition to their other types. Non-artifact creatures get -1/-1. Nice. Just kill off all our tokens.
Yeah, and it's an artifact deck.
Yep, and now you magically are an artifact deck.
Yep. All right. Abaddon the Despoiler is next. 2 blue, black, red for a 5/5 legendary creature, Astartes Warrior with trample. During your turn, spells you cast from your hand with mana value X or less have Cascade, where X is the total amount of life your opponents have lost this turn. Okay, so you have to deal damage to your opponents first before your stuff has Cascade. It's interesting. So it seems a little bit better than that guy where you swing and then everything has Cascade after you swing with them.
Yeah.
Just because like you could just like ping people for damage instead of having to attack.
Yep. Next up we have Belacor, the Dark Master. It is 3 blue, black, red for a 6/5 demon noble legendary creature with flying, and he has the Prince of Chaos. When Belacor, the Dark Master, enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of demons you control. And then he has Lord of Torment. Whenever another demon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's a lot of stuff.
So this seems like Demon Tribal awesomeness, Commander.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Like, I definitely would play this deck. Seems cool.
That is a lot of shit in one card.
Like, draw a bunch of stuff with demons, and then it has the payoff for whenever you're playing a demon, you're doing damage, which is what you want. It's kind of like the Dragons guy, except for it's for demons.
Right, and it's 6 for a 6/5, which is not bad.
Yeah, with flying, it's good.
With flying and all of this other shit.
Next up, we got the Horus Heresy for 3 and Grixis, so 3 blue, black, red. First chapter is for each opponent gain control of up to 1 target non-legendary creature that player controls for as long as this remains on the battlefield. Chapter 2, draw a card for each creature you control but don't own. 3, starting with you, each player chooses a creature. Destroy each creature chosen this way. So you're going to get 3 things basically for 2 turns.
Yep.
Draw 3 cards, and then we're going to blow 4 things up.
I think it's not bad.
It's not horrible. It's not great.
Yeah. It costs a lot for that.
Mediocre card, in my opinion. Yeah. I would be surprised if I saw it played against me, but I would be like, whatever.
Yeah. These sagas so far are kind of not really hitting it for me. Next up, we have Magus Lucia Kane. It is 1 green, blue, red for a 1/1 human tyranid wizard legendary creature. It has Spiritual Leader, which is at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then it has Psychic Stimulus, which is tap it, add 2 waste. When you next cast a spell with X in its mana cost or activate an ability with X in its activation cost this turn, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. So again, this is very much like that niche
Expel matters,
which is interesting.
Or you can just make it 1/1 counters.
The first part's fine, honestly. I'd play it for that.
Next up, we got another saga, the First Tyrannic War. 2 green, red, blue, so 2 in Teamer. Chapter 1 is you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield if its mana cost contains X. It enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the number of lands you control. So that's actually pretty good. It's playing an X card, and it's going to have 1/1 counters equal to the thing. And then Chapter 2 and 3 is double the number of each kind of counter on a target creature you control. So put something in for free, put counters on equal number of lands I have, double it, and I still only paid the 5 mana. It seems pretty good.
Not bad at all. It's like a single target doubling season, kind of.
Yeah, that's the best saga, I think.
Yeah, that's by far the best saga we've seen so far. It's actually like decent. Yeah. All the others have been just like whatever. Next up we have the Swarm Lord. It is 3 green, blue, red for a 5/5 Tyrannid legendary creature. It has rapid regeneration, which is the Swarm Lord enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. And then it has Xenos Cunning. Whenever a creature you control with a counter on it dies, draw a card. So if you have a cheap costing commander, that's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's pretty nice too.
Well, it enters with. So I think this is like they didn't want to make a real Marith. They learned their mistake with Marith and it being too good. So like, we'll give it 2 1/1 counters for each time you cast it. Yeah. It coming in equal to its mana cost and it costing more every single time. That's pretty good.
Yep.
I'd play that as a commander and then just have a counters matter deck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So multicolored, lots of good cards. I think the demon card is the coolest. I definitely would want to play that deck.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of cool stuff here though. There's there's a lot of multicolored cards. Lots of potential. Some are kind of mediocre, but there's a lot that are actually pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot here. So yeah, cool stuff for sure.
So on to artifacts here. We got the first one is Canopatek Scarab Swarm. It's 4 for a 1/1 artifact creature insect with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you exile target player's graveyard. For each artifact or land card exiled this way, create a 1/1 insect artifact creature token with flying. So it's similar to that multicolor one, except for this is colorless insect artifacts, and this is an artifact itself, so you can play it in any deck.
Yep, which is pretty cool. Nice having another card that does similar stuff. Flipping the page. All right. Next up, we have Canoptek Spider. It is 5 for a 4/4 artifact spider creature with flying. Flying spider, that's terrifying. So it has Fabricator Claw Array. Whenever another non-token artifact creature or vehicle enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
That's okay. It's pretty good. You get to draw cards.
Drawing cards is always good.
Next up, we got the Canoptek Tomb Sentinel. 4 for a 4/3 with Vigilance, artifact creature insect. When it enters the battlefield from a graveyard, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. and has Unearth for 7. So the first time you play it, it's 4 for 4/3. Unearth it, it's 4 for 4/3. You get to exile something.
Yep, which is pretty cool.
I mean, it's 7 for 4/3. You exile something second. Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine. It's whatever. Next up we have Canoptic Wraith. It is 3 for a 2/1 Wraith artifact creature with Wraith form. Canoptic Wraith can't be blocked. And then it has Transdimensional Scout. When Canoptic Wraith deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3 and sacrifice it. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards with the same name as a land you control. Put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
Well, it's unblockable at least.
Yeah, unblockable is nice.
So 3 for 2/1, swing in, pay 3 again, sack it, get 2 lands of a land you already have out.
Yeah, which is, unless you're playing a mono deck, I'm not sure.
I don't see why you'd want to play this. Yeah.
Like I really need more of those planes.
Unless you're not playing green and don't have very good mana ramp, but
yeah, but then you should just make your deck better.
Yeah. Next up, we got Convergence of Dominion. 3 mana for an artifact. As long as you control your commander, activated abilities of cards in your graveyard cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that ability's activation cost to less than 1 mana. And it has pay 3, tap it, mill 3.
Interesting. So graveyard effects matters, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it makes all your unearths cost less too.
Which is awesome. Because unearth is usually pretty high cost, so that's nice.
Also flashbacks, all that stuff.
Does it work for, I don't know, does Dredge have a cost? Or is that just you draw?
Oh wait, no, it says activated abilities. So I don't know. Dredge doesn't have a cost. But so that means like flashback won't even work because that's a spell cost, isn't it? Or is that an ability?
I don't know.
It might work with flashback. I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure. Definitely works with unearth.
Unearth is definitely an ability. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff you can do with that. I think. Right kind of deck, I'm sure you can make it work pretty nice. Next up we have Crypto Thrall. It is 4 for a 3/3 construct artifact creature with protector. Other artifact creatures you control have hexproof, so that's nice.
Yes, you gotta hit it first.
It got to die first.
Next up we got Ghost Ark. 4 for a 3/3 artifact vehicle with flying. And whenever Ghost Ark becomes crewed, each artifact creature card in your graveyard gains Unearth 3 until end of turn.
Shit.
And it has crew 2. That seems
each
good.
Artifact creature card in your graveyard gains Unearth 3. Damn.
Yeah, so then if you have the other thing about, you only have to pay 1.
Yeah, I know, right? That's a fucking wombo combo.
Yeah. Pay 1 mana, swing with an artifact, swing with an artifact, swing with an artifact.
Really cheap crew cost too, which is pretty nice.
Yep.
Next up we have Inquisitorial Rosette. It is 2 for equipment artifact that's an equipment. It has Inquisition Agents. Whenever equipped creature attacks, create a 2/2 white Astartes warrior creature token with vigilance that's attacking. Then attacking creatures gain menace until end of turn. It has equip 3. So it's decent cost, and you get a bunch of other stuff attacking.
You get a 2/2 attacking, right?
Yeah.
And then everything gets menace. That's
okay. That's
okay.
That's fine, yeah.
It seems like I would rather just play Brimaz.
Yeah, Brimaz is better. Hero of Bladehold is better.
Yeah.
And then for that cost, I can play a sword, which is far better. So, yeah. There's better stuff.
Next up is Knight Paladin. 5 mana for a 6/6 artifact vehicle with trample. When Knight Paladin enters the battlefield, deals 4 damage to each opponent, and its crew cost is just 1.
Damn. That's a cheap crew cost. That's a good card, right? That seems good to me.
I mean, it does cost 5, but it deals 4 damage to everybody, and then you have a 6/6 trampler. So you just have to crew with them your wimpy 1/1 token.
Like a freaking token. Like, okay.
Yeah, then you get the 6/6. Seems good.
Yeah, seems good to me. Next up, we have Necron Monolith. It is 7 for a 7/7 artifact as a vehicle. It has flying and indestructible. And then it has Eternity Gate. Whenever Necron Monolith attacks, mill 3 cards. For each creature card milled this way, create a 2/2 black Necron Warrior artifact creature token. Crew 4. So you literally can just crew it with the tokens you're making.
Yeah, but you have to swing with it. You have to swing with it once first.
Right. I mean, you have to you have to crew it with what you have first, and then it just perpetually just crews itself, which is pretty nice.
Next up is Reaver Titan, 7 for a 10/10 artifact vehicle. Void Shields, which means protection from mana value of 3 or less. It's pretty good. And then nice. Gatling Blaster, whenever Reaver Titan attacks, it deals 5 damage to each opponent.
Jesus.
Crew 4. So Crew 4 get a 10/10 when it swings, deal 5.
I'd say that's a pretty good deal.
Good. That's pretty good too.
That's a lot of power. Yeah, that's going to be a headache to deal with. Next up, we got Redemptor Dreadnought. It's a 5 for a 4/4 Astartes Dreadnought artifact creature. Fallen Warrior. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. It has Trample, and then it has Plasma Incinerator. Whenever Redemptor Dreadnought attacks, if a card is exiled with it, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the power of the exiled card.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. Seems pretty powerful.
Next up, we got Resurrection Orb. 2 mana for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature has lifelink. Whenever an equipped creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Equip cost 4.
High equip cost, but it basically gets regen.
Really good effect though, but a high equip cost.
And it has life.
Again, if you could cheat that equip cost, like in my equipment deck,
SFM this bitch, that's for sure. Yep, this if it's cheated in, this could be really good. Next up, we got Scepter of Eternal Glory. It costs 4 for a legendary artifact. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Tap it, add 3 mana of any 1 color. Activate only if you control 3 or more lands with the same name.
Well, that seems easy enough because you're probably going to play 3 basics in your deck, right?
Oh, I would think so.
So you might play this in a monocolor deck even because it's like, okay, 4 for a 3 mana of the color is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It costs 4, so it's like basically it turns into the Gilded Lotus, right? But the Gilded Lotus costs 5. So it's 1 less than that. So if you play Gilded Lotus in your deck, you might consider playing this if you play enough like basics to trigger that.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're not playing it, right? Like
mono basics.
Add 1 is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
like instead you just play Chromatic Lantern, like So,
or like freaking Hierarch or something that costs like 2.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Golden Throne, 4 mana for a legendary artifact. If you would lose the game, instead exile the Golden Throne, and your life total becomes 1. And then it has tap, sacrifice a creature, add 3 mana in any combination of colors. That seems really good, right?
That does seem really good.
Tap, sack a creature, get 3 mana.
That's pretty decent.
That's really good. And then if you just happen to lose, you become at 1.
I mean, that doesn't always work, but
like that seems good. It's just because people play what's that? The one, the Phyrexian Altar, but you can do that infinite times. And you just get 1, right? But this is you get 3 mana, but you can only use it 1 time because you have to tap it. It's pretty. That's good. I'd play this.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Trading my tokens for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do that any day, man. Next up, we have Thunderhawk Gunship. It costs 6 for a 6/6 vehicle artifact vehicle with flying. When Thunderheart gunship enters the battlefield, create 2/2 white Astartes warrior creature tokens with vigilance. Whenever Thunderhawk gunship attacks, attacking creatures you control gain flying until end of turn, and it has crew 2. So that's pretty sick.
So what do you think of artifacts?
These artifacts are pretty awesome for the most part. Some of these vehicles are crazy, man.
Yeah, some of the vehicles seem cool. I think that Reaver Titan seems awesome.
Yeah, Reaver Titan's sick.
Like, especially with that, if you put that in that new vehicles deck where like you can crew it for like just like the one guy, like
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna crew this, and then I swing, deal 5 to everybody, and it's a 10/10 coming at somebody.
Like, yeah, it's like that's good.
That's pretty.
Like
good.
The Golden Throne can be really good. Like there's a lot of good stuff here. All right, we got one measly land.
Yeah, one land called Tomb Fortress. It enters tapped, taps for a swamp and a black mana pool. It has pay 2 blacks, so 2 and 3 blacks, exile it, mill 4 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activity only is a sorcery. So it's not horrible.
Not bad.
Get creature back.
Yeah, it's nice having, it's like almost a dread return in a land, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it costs like what, 1 more? But,
yeah, it costs 1 more.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not bad. So that is the set. We have made it. That was a lot of cards.
Yeah, that is Warhammer. What do you think about Warhammer set?
There's some really like that black artifact like theme deck is sick.
Yeah,
so good.
Looks cool.
Especially with like some of these artifacts that we saw too.
I feel like they must all be like 3-color decks.
Yeah, I don't know what the packs are. I haven't looked at them.
Is my guess.
That would make sense based on like what the colors are.
Yeah, so it's so it's 4 commander decks. There's the what do you call that? Esper guy, the Inquisitor Greyfex deck. And then there's the mono black artifacts deck,
which is going to be
with the Necron guy as the commander.
There's so
and then there's the Teamer Swarmlord 1/1 counters deck,
and
then there's the Chaos deck, which is the Grixis spells you cast from your hand have Cascade random stuff.
Right, that had some random stuff in it. Could be fun, but I don't know how good it's going to be.
Yeah, it looks like you can buy them on TCG Player. You can buy the non-foil ones for $300 for all of them, $65 at Walmart and Target per deck. And then the Secret Lair ones, I don't know, is that the same deck?
Or is it just specific cards?
That's what I'm looking at. Oh, it's just specific cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So Secret Lair is just more Warhammer stuff, but it's only like 5 cards in each one. Okay, so it's like $65 a deck, which is so some of them seem cool.
Yeah, the Artifacts deck is going to be really good.
Yeah, the Artifacts one seems cool. The Grixis one seemed kind of cool. The Teamer one seemed cool. They also all seemed kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. They all got good stuff. They'll be fun to mess with for sure.
Yeah.
And then tweak, of course, because that's what you do with precons. Take out the bullshit, put in some better stuff.
I also played in the Arena Open while we were away from the last show. I made day 2 finally, so I finally made day 2 of the tournament.
Nice.
First time ever making day 2. I always bust out. But I thought I made day 2, and then my draft kind of went shitty. Won round 1 and then lost immediately in game 2. Needed to go 3-0, and then you go into the second draft of the day 2, and then if you win 1, you get $1,000. 2, you get $2,000.
Damn,
3,
that's pretty good. I'll take $1,000.
Yeah, so I made it to day 2, and I made it to where and then I won 1, So I made it to where like I got like $50 in-game gems in Arena.
Right, yeah.
Which is like whatever. It's nice to like pay for more than my entry back.
Get some decks and
because you get your entry back plus more and a ticket to day 2 when you win the first day. So
right, that's good.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was like, it was fun. I was playing Dominator United. I drafted the reason I went. I think I went like I basically went like 7-0 in day 1. Like I think I lost 1. Because I got like a sweet domain walls deck. I had 2 of the Wingmate Chaplains and 3 of the shield guys that search for it, and like just like played walls and then controlled the board until I could play the Chaplain and swing. Like,
yeah, that's kind of what you. That's
so,
a really
okay.
good. Really,
I think I might have also had Soul Canar in the deck, which would have been like, which he's crazy good too in limited. So it was just like super good walls deck. It seemed janky to me because I didn't know if I had any finishers. I didn't have any finishers really other, I don't think, than the Wingmate Chaplain, but they ended up not having answers to it. So I was able to just
that's all you need. If they don't have any answers, then you win the game.
It's like, all right, I guess I'm going to just keep swinging down with 1/1s whenever I play a defender. Yeah. So.
Well, this was a lot.
Yeah, so that's the Warhammer cards. We'll be back next time, probably with Unfinity next, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll get some podcasts in. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a podcast in between having to do Brothers War set review, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.